Hello, my name is Von, and you're joining me at the beginning of an Attila Total War campaign, where I'm playing as the Western Roman Empire at a time when the Empire is under threat from Barbarian Invasion, and historically began its complete collapse at this point. My goal is going to be to try and mitigate that collapse as much as possible, and hopefully rebuild Empire to its glory days. Let's start off by taking a look at the extent of the Empire currently. Obviously, the Western Roman Empire is the red here on the map. To the east of us, we have the Eastern Empire, which is in purple, also known as the Byzantium Empire. And we are completely surrounded by barbarian factions who are being pushed from the east into our empire by the Hunnic hordes as they expand across Eastern Europe towards us. My goal here is going to be to try and keep all of Italy, as much of France as possible, and as much as Spain as possible as well. We will see what happens in Africa and Britain, but at the very least I'm expecting to lose everything east of Italy very quickly to barbarians. Now at this point in time, the Empire has a number of problems that we need to address, starting off with food production. As you can see here, there are a number of areas in the Empire that actually have a negative food income at the moment, a deficit if you will, and that's going to be affecting public order and happiness quite substantially. There's also a sanitation problem. Many areas need increased sanitation as we begin to industrialize the empire, so we're going to be focusing on that as well. And there's also a bit of a public order crisis. As you can see here, there is not a single place that is doing well at the moment, so those are the three main things we're going to focus on before we start upgrading and rebuilding our military. So we're going to be sacrificing a lot of outer provinces of the empire in order to sort of fix some of the fundamental flaws behind the lines at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to start off here by taking a look at our capital province, because it quite accurately represents the rest of the empire as it stands currently. There's sanitation problems in a lot of places. The public order of places is not what it should be, and usually this is being caused by a food crisis which needs resolving, as you can see here. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need to build buildings, and in order to do that we need not only space but also money, and we only start the game off with 8,000 gold, which is not very much gold considering the breadth of the problem we have to solve. So my first course of action is going to be to remove our religious buildings, because although they provide us with additional public order, they're costing us a lot of money and we cannot afford them, so we need to increase our income. And we should also get part of the building construction cost back refunded to us, which will help give us a bit of an initial boost. So once that's been completely destroyed, my plan will be to replace its building slot with some kind of sanitation building, probably a waterworks or an aqueduct kind of thing. And then in the other provinces, we need to solve the food deficit. Now, we already have a field here, so we can upgrade that to a higher yield farming building. In this case, we'll use wheat fields because the fertility of the land is rich, and that gives us the best payoff based on fertility level. But I don't think that's going to be enough. That's only going to provide us with 50, 60 odd extra food income. So we're also going to build an additional fields here. Dropping down to Rome here, we can see similar problems. Again, sanitation, public order, food, and we have a large church building here which we're going to destroy to make room for the sanitation. And we will build a fields again here to help solve the food problems. Southern Italy, repetitive story. We're going to destroy the church and build a fields here to help solve the food problems. Now the Sardinia region doesn't actually have a food shortage at the moment, which is alright, so we will just destroy the church here. In fact, seeing as we have enough population to make an expansion here and we don't need to build a food building, we will expand and build a waterworks. As you can see here, it's barely any cost and it benefits sanitation in all areas of the region, so that's a great build. So in southern France here, or Narbonnesis, there are no religious buildings in the capital, or the large city, So we're not going to be able to fit a sanitation building there. So we're going to have to build one somewhere else to try and offset that. Now, the sanitation issues here are fairly bad, but not hugely bad. So I think what we'll start with is building a fountain in Vienna. And then we'll upgrade that to a public bathhouse once it's finished. And that should help solve the problem here. Public order seems pretty good at the moment. Food seems alright, so we'll leave that be. Now to the west of that, in the Aquitania region, again, we have problems with squalor, but the food seems fine at the moment, so we're going to... well, we can't do it this turn, but we will build a waterworks there, and in the meantime, we'll demolish the church. Okay, so taking a look at the Venetia region, we've got a church that needs removing once again. Although we do already have a sanitation building here, which is providing +8 to all regions, which is great. So sanitation is not going to be an issue at all in this area. Another religious building here, so we will destroy that, and I think replace it with a farm, seeing as there's a food deficit at the moment, but we can't do that until the building's been destroyed, so that's going to be next turn. And to finish off the last of our money, destroy the church again. And we're going to build a farm here in southern Spain to help start working on that food crisis. Okay, so I've just gone around quickly and destroyed the various religious buildings in like almost every province, because there's quite a lot of them. And I think at this point we'll take a look at diplomacy. Now, at the moment, the Eastern Roman Empire are our friends. We're allied together, which means we'll help each other in wars. But everyone else pretty much hates us. Now, there are a number of countries we do have trade agreements with at the moment, and if we're able to in the future, we will definitely try to get more, but I'm not thinking that's very likely at this point. So, we're kind of on our own here. As for technology, I think military is something we need to start focusing on fairly early on, and this will help us to upgrade some of our units already, so yeah, we'll go with that. Now, at the start of the game, we have an army here in northern Britain. I am expecting them to get surrounded very quickly, so what we'll do is move them down to Londinium here, and we will try and hold the south of Britain first, before focusing on these ones. Here in northeast France, or Belgium, we have another two armies. Now, they're not very reinforced at the moment, but once they are, I would like to bring them down to the south here and deal with this Horde faction, which is going to start raiding, I'm sure, before long in our territory. But for now, they definitely need to build up strength a bit more. To the east of that, we have another army here. I think we'll keep them where they are for now. I believe that's also our faction's heir as well, so... And then east of that still, we have another army in territory that is likely to be lost very quickly. So we're going to move them back towards Venetia and try and hold this sort of mountain pass, I guess. Defend the entrance to Italy. Last but not least, we need to sort out our faction. I don't have a huge amount of experience with this, so bear with me if I make a lot of stupid calls here. I think for our heir, we're going to appoint him as a military count, because that's the only position available to him. And I'm hoping that'll help grow his influence in the long term, as he starts taking part in battles. Governorship, not really clear to me what regions need help at the moment, so we will just place our statesman leader, faction leader, in Liguria, which is our capital region for now. We do also have another guy here who's available, so we'll stick him in Italia to help work with Rome. That means we'll need to set some edicts, so we'll start by, yeah, we'll do the food and public order, because that's one of the greatest problems at the moment for us. And we have 400 gold left, so I'm just going to build, I think, one more unit here, and that's everything we can do for the end of spring 395 AD. So we'll end turn. Alright, so during the AI turn, the Saxons have attacked us. Now, this will be our first battle. So I should probably point out that we are likely to lose pretty much every battle during this first part of the game because we are horrendously outnumbered. As you can see here, we have a single ship with some marines on it and 4 other units compared to all of this. We do have one thing going for us in that our units are stronger than the enemy currently. I believe we're using heavily armoured units and they're only using light, but that will very quickly change as they bring in axe warriors and things like that. So our goal isn't necessarily to win, more to damage the enemy army as much as possible during the attack so that it takes them time to reinforce, and that slows down their progress across the campaign map in raiding and capturing our cities. My plan for the defense of the city will be to hold the centre of town on the high ground here. I've put up a barricade on the right hand side which just leaves the left and centre here open, which I've plugged with swordsmen and spearmen who are both in stationary testudo mode, which gives them bonus to missile block and makes them much harder to move basically if they're charged into. And I've also placed our archers here on the wall. I'm going to put them on flaming shot because that's most effective against lightly armoured units. And out here we've got marines who will land immediately, get them inside the central area. Something I neglected to mention is that I've got our cavalry here outside the central area on the right flank. This is because I intend to try and use them to pick off like missile units, archers, spear throwers, things like that, if they are unsupported by enemy infantry, and they can't do that from inside here, so they're sort of going to be hiding off around the flanks. Yeah, the enemy's landing under fire. Not really sure what they're doing here. Just kind of standing in front of our archers. Taking fire. Interesting tactic.
Our general is being attacked! A tower has been destroyed! Orders understood!
Here they come. No? They decided not to. Can't make up their minds. They're going in, and they're already having second thoughts about it. On the verge of breaking, in fact. And they're running. To be fair, they've taken a lot of fire arrows.
Enemy units have been rallied!
Okay, here we go. Okay, we have a skirmisher group going around the east flank here. Not sure what they're up to. Keep an eye on them. Okay, now the enemy is starting to leave their archers behind, so I'm going to start swinging around with the cavalry and put them in a position where they can flank when the archers are most vulnerable. Swordsmen holding really well in the two-studio formation. If they start to get into trouble, then we'll just bring in the marines behind them. And in fact, seeing as nobody's attacked on the left flank here, we might be able to bring the pikemen over as well at some point, the spearmen rather. Be good if the cavalry ran though. Okay, so the enemy general unit is a heavy melee unit, so they're going to be something to keep our eye on. More difficult to take down. So let's bring the cavalry around, because the archers are well and truly on their own at this point.
Blast! A fire has started among the houses!
Attila, you better run.
Riders, advance!
See if we can pin them all in melee. Because their arrows are still being quite devastating if they're fired at us. Okay, first archer unit's starting to break. That's it, that's what we want. Move on to the next one. The enemy's not putting any units back to assist, so that's good. Our swordsmen are still holding quite well. The enemy's taking a lot of damage. Can we finish off the archers?
The enemy refuses to admit defeat!
In fact, I think we'll bring our spearmen around and try and finish these archers here. We'll bring the spin around the back of these archers. Then once they've broken, we'll swap the swordmen onto the also the cavalry onto the other archers. Now these fires are occurring where the enemy forces are around the town. It's like simulating that they're burning parts of the settlement. Let's bring the cavalry over here, see if we can finish these archers off. Enemy's still not responding. The swordsmen are starting to take a bit of a beating, so I will commit... Yeah, let's commit the Marines here to help out. Okay, both those archers broken. Let's finish the last one off. We'll bring the spearmen round here. Yeah, and try and engage from the rear. That might send them into a bit of a panic. Now the enemy units are already exhausted, whereas our spearmen are only tired, which will give us a bit of an edge for now. How's the enemy general unit doing? The archers are out of ammunition, which is a shame. So I'm just going to move them behind. Here is a bit of moral support for the army. If we can just finish these archers off, that'd be great. How are they losing?
Spear infantry, at your command.
Come on, chase them down.
The enemy have rallied their units.
Finish them.
Break the lines! Riders, at the double!
Come on. Yeah, our spear infantry is not doing as well as I'd hoped. Cavalry, okay, cavalry's finished off the archers. Let's bring the cavalry down to the south here and see if we can threaten some of these troops with being flanked. Not sure why our spear units are losing this battle so badly. Well, the Marines are on the verge of breaking. They've stabilised. So we'll push forward here with the swordsman. The spearmen are on the verge of breaking. That's not good. I'm not sure why that's happening. We have heavy infantry versus light spear infantry. We are playing on hard difficulty, so there might be some bonuses the AI is getting.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
Okay, let's try and finish off these light sword units here. Send the archers in. Need everyone we've got. Okay, that's one unit down. Let's get the next one. Marines have come back to the fight. We'll just stand them at the rear here because they'll probably break immediately if we actually send them in. Okay. 2 down. On to the 3rd. God, they're going down fast.
Our men are wavering.
Speed, it's not looking good. There we go, finished. So we can finish off these skirmishers.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
No, oh no. That's not good.
The men are broken and are fleeing. General, keep moving.
Melee cavalry ready. Advance!
As you
Yes,
command.
Commander. Advance at speed. Forward! Riders, advance! Advance at speed.
Don't really want to charge the heavy cavalry in. They've got spears, so they're going to be pretty dangerous.
A unit is running from the enemy.
Although it doesn't look like we've got much of an option at this point. Perhaps if we can lure them over to one of the towers, that might help us. Nah, they're wavering on their own. May as well charge him. See if we can kill a few people because none of our forces will survive. Nah, that's it. Okay, so as you can see, we've done considerable damage to the enemy, even though we lost, with over 1,500 kills. That's incredible. And if we're lucky, they won't actually take this settlement, they'll just raid it. Let's see. Yeah, just raided it. So we can hold on to that little bit of revenue for that little bit longer. Right, so the start of summer 395. As you can see, we have 41,000 gold now to spend on improvements. That's thanks to destroying all those religious buildings. So we will obviously continue doing that. And in the meantime, working on the food problems and public order as well, as we were last time. I'll upgrade this one in the Roman region. Wheat fields again, because of the rich fertility level. Southern Italy. We can now start building a waterworks here to deal with the squalor. Food looks alright. Public order's not great at the moment, but we will resolve that later. Back up in Venetia. Let's start building some food production. Then across southern France. Actually, things are looking alright now, apart from the squalor in the capital region. So we will continue with our upgrade to the bathhouse, and that should solve that problem. Over to the west, we now have some money for building a waterworks to deal with the squalor. Okay, so here in Spain, we do have a bit of a food crisis, and I've obviously built the field last turn. Now, because the fertility level is only average here, so that's a 3 out of 5, we're not going to go for wheat fields. We're going to go for cattle herd, which is kind of an in-between based off of fertility level. As the bonus we'll get from wheat fields won't be as high, so it's not really worth it. We're better off getting more money, basically, and a higher base food income. Alright, so I've been around and continued our campaign of destroying religious buildings and replacing them with sanitation, which I think is a pretty logical course of action. And of course, dealing with some of the food problems as well. I'm not too concerned with upgrading the outer provinces, but in this case in Britain, I've decided to upgrade the farm here real quick and build a waterworks just to help stave off problems. Now you can see the settlement that was attacked in the last turn has taken damage, and that's going to cost quite a bit to repair, so I think we'll just leave that as it is for now. And you can also see here on the public order that the fact that it was raided has added instability to the region, which is a pretty severe penalty to public order. So as you can imagine, the more this happens, the more likely these places are to rebel and declare independence from us, basically. And there's going to be a high chance that we're not going to be able to stop that in certain regions. Alright, so with all our gold spent, that's the end of this turn.
War! We will make your homes a wasteland, despoil your women, enslave your children, and desecrate your ancestors' graves.
The Abdonians have declared war on us, which is Ireland, basically. We have the option to call our allies. Now, the Eastern Roman Empire has its own problems, and they're already starting to dislike us, so considering how far away they are, I don't think it's really worth calling them into this war, because it just upset them a bit more. So we're just taking on alone. Are they going to attempt to seize the city immediately? It looks like they are. Yep. Okay, another battle. This one... even more hideously outnumbered. We have, what, 100 or 700 men, sorry, and they have over 2,000. 3,000. God. Yeah, this is pretty one-sided. Now, to defend the town, I'm going to be doing a similar tactic as before. We're going to be holding the high ground here. I've built a barricade on the left-hand side this time to hopefully stop units from coming in that direction. We could have built one down here in the south, but I think this really steep hill here will provide us with a real advantage, so I kind of want the enemy to attack us in that direction. And then the other two areas we've got blocked off by swordsmen here, and here on the right-hand side we've got pikemen, or spearmen, to do that. I've stuck the archers here for now. We'll see where they attack, and we might have to move them. Cavalry on the far left side. And our 2 marine units I'm going to land immediately and start bringing them up to the main fortress area.
God, give us strength!
Enemy reinforcements are bearing down
I am a
on
bit
us.
concerned about the enemy cavalry that started on the land here, because there's a chance they could get to our marine units before they've had a chance to get into the central area.
All men ashore.
But hopefully they'll be alright.
Orders. Double time.
Make sure they're running. Yep, good. Cavalry's been seen, so we're going to move them into these trees over here, so they're hidden. Don't think they're capable of taking out the enemy cavalry. No, they're carrying spears, so that'd be a bad idea. Okay, the Marines have made it inside safely, which is great. We will put the skirmishers over here, I think, just in case they attack from the right-hand side, because that will really decrease the morale getting javelin from the side. And the other Marines we'll just put here as a backup force. We're already in stationary Testudo, so we should be able to hold the ground pretty well. All archers are firing at the cavalry. It's light cavalry, so we'll switch to flame shot. In fact, we'll use precision as well, so they're not going to be moving anywhere.
Blast! A fire has started among the houses.
Enemy cavalry's burning the settlement.
Our general is under attack.
They really are eating a lot of arrows. See how they do up this slope. It's very steep. A great horde of men. There's no chance we can hold out against this. We'll just, as I say, try and kill as many as possible, weaken the enemy armies going forward. Interesting, an enemy horse without a rider has decided to run through our camp, and that counts as them capturing the center point of the town. The steepness of that hill is brutal.
The enemy is upon us.
The
They're at the
forces that are
walls.
landing over here. Half a settlement's on fire. That's going to be expensive. Looks like one of the enemy cavalry units is broken. And the other's wavering.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
Look at that, it's just a meat grinder, that road.
Tower is nothing but ash now.
Okay, enemy cavalry is trying to push through whilst braking. I'm not sure. I guess because there's such a crush here, they can't escape down the bottom. So they're being forced through our lines. We'll just try and finish them off with the Marines. Nice, there we go.
Our settlement has suffered much from the enemy.
Okay, so there is an archer group we can eventually, hopefully, target with our cavalry. Is our cavalry able to? No, okay, they can't deal with that strength of unit at the moment. So we'll just have to wait for a better opportunity to get round back of the archers. Still holding firm here, but yeah, swordsman taking a lot of damage. Losing decisively. Send in the Marines. Looks like the spearmen are holding up pretty well. There's a much smaller force attacking there, to be fair, but yeah, well. Okay, engaging the archers. Should be able to finish them off really quick. Yep, they're breaking already. Enemies bringing their infantry back, but I think they're going to be too late. And we push on to the next group.
It's an ambush!
Yeah, I think we risk it. There's a chance we could get trapped down here on the beach if they come around behind here and then over here. But I think it's worth it. Seems like the units over here are pretty oblivious, so that's fortunate. Oh, look at the casualties sustained by the swordsman. That's not good at all. Archers are almost out of ammo. I get the feeling we've inflicted heavy casualties on the enemy here, but yeah, I don't think there's any chance of us winning.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle!
Okay, the archers are broken. Chase them down. That's it, nice. Right, moving on to the next archer group. In fact, I think by the time we're done with this one, we should be able to come around and deal with this one. Archers are out of ammo. Let's take them off the walls. Put them as a bit of moral support here for our infantry. Oh, spearmen are taking heavy damage as well. Let's get the skirmishers around there to help them. So the archers try to run away from our cavalry, unsuccessfully, of course. Okay, they're wavering again. Let's send the archers into melee. Oh no, they've broken. Just the Marines. Almost finished the archers. Come on, break. Oh no, both the spearmen and the skirmishers are running from this right flank. The enemy's pouring in behind. That's game over. Can we just finish this archer unit out, please? Oh no, that is not good. What? That's something that I find irritating. Now that the enemy has returned to the battlefield, it cancels the order for the cavalry to attack.
Nothing remains of this unit. Our men are wavering.
Oh dear, swordsman broke again. And as they come in behind our units here, it's going to collapse. Okay, that archer unit's gone. Let's try getting this one. Fall into the game, hopefully. And they come. Morale's plummeting. Yeah, they're breaking.
Our men flee the field of
What a
battle.
shame.
This is a shameful display.
Oh, cavalry's given up now as well. That's the end. So, we did pretty well again. Not quite as well as the last one, but performed admirably, I would say. Are they going to take the city? No, just raiding. No, they did take it, yeah. Okay. That's the first settlement has been lost. First of many, I'm sure. Okay, it is now autumn 395 AD. This time we have 22,000 gold to spend, with a projected income of 13,000 next turn, so that's pretty good. Let's just take a look here and see how we're doing on the sanitation progress. As you can see, it's looking a lot better than it was before. Almost got everything under control. Food situation hasn't really changed much, and neither has public order so far. But now that we've destroyed those religious buildings and started building the sanitation buildings, we can begin focusing our efforts on solving those problems as well. Right, I think we'll leave it there for now. We've started the Empire on a path to recovery, and so far we've only lost one settlement, though I expect in the next video we're going to come under more heavy barbarian attack and probably lose quite a bit more territory, and maybe see the beginnings of revolts in the exterior regions of the Empire that we've somewhat neglected so far. But before long, we will have the Empire firmly on a path to recovery, and we'll soon be able to start rebuilding some of our military might and defending those outer borders and reclaiming those territories. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a comment, let me know what you did enjoy. If you didn't, leave me a comment as well. Let me know what you didn't. I've never done this before. So any feedback is really useful to me. And I will hopefully see you in the next video.